one day my coach asked me, if you could be doing anything, what would it be? And without even thinking, I said I would be coaching people on a sailboat. And I thought about it for a minute, and I realized that lands. That's my one thing. That's what I want to do. I want to invite people into something and bring them out new.
Well, welcome back to another episode of the Succeed Against the Odds Show. Today, as my guest, I have Terry Barkman. We're here at the Telus Garden building with piano music in the background to entertain you in more than one way. And Terry, you have a very fascinating business, and I'd like for you to share with our audience what it is that you do.
Well, my co-leaders and I coach people on sailboats. So we take them out on the boat for the week, and we coach them through a life transition or into a new way of thinking, kind of around a pivot into something new.
What got you into doing that? What was the inspiration of?
I mean, I've been sailing since I was a kid, and one day my coach asked me, if you could be doing anything, what would it be? And without even thinking, I said I would be coaching people on a sailboat. And I thought about it for a minute, and I realized that lands. That's my one thing. That's what I want to do. I want to invite people into something and bring them out new.
Okay, so can you give us a glimpse of the type of coaching that happens? How long are the trips? How long is the coaching session on these?
Typically, our trips are a week in length.
A week?
We do 7 days, sometimes 6, depending on the length of the charter. We do have day sails this summer out of Vancouver. We have 2.
So it's like just a one-day thing?
A taste of sailboat coaching.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
So what exactly happens in the, let's just say, during the 1 week? What is someone who comes, what are they going to experience? What's the benefit of being on a boat versus the analogy? Because I think you bring more to the coaching on the sailboat than you would get more out of it than being on land in a hotel somewhere doing a retreat in a different way. So can you just give us a glimpse of the experience? What's different? Why is it better?
Being on a boat really is a powerful experience. And to bring the group together for a week, first of all, is different than saying, well, we're going to meet online or over the phone for, 7 calls. To have everybody in a shared space together, you get face-to-face and you share a connection. You create something together that you wouldn't. And then to have it on the sailboat, you're out in nature and you can hear the sound of the wind and the water on the hull. It's a magical experience. What we do, we have a few different curriculums, but one curriculum that I coached with, and Michelle, I coached with Michelle last August, is our What's Next curriculum. And it really takes people through where they are in their life and what their values are and what's not serving them anymore. And from there we take them into, well, what could be next for you? Let's explore, let's use our imaginations, let's get together as a group and see what we could see for you in the future. Try it on, see if it fits. And if it does, maybe you end up in something new next month.
And I would imagine that because you're not on land, and because you are together, but you're kind of being on a sailboat, you're out in the open, and you're detached from everything. So I would imagine, because I haven't experienced it, but I would imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I would imagine that people that participate feel almost like carefree. Because I've been in situations where I've been in a place that felt so remote that it was free, and you feel detached, and it's like a clean slate for new thinking. Is there a similarity to that happening in being in the open ocean, so that you're not distracted by what's, like you said, you're in nature, so you don't have the distractions of what goes on in a city or the country?
Yes, Francesca, I think you've hit it. It really is a great way to unplug, to step away from the office, from the busy life as a professional or as an entrepreneur. So maybe take your phones and just turn them off.
There's no internet.
And just turn them off.
So is there internet on the boat?
And most devices, you may not know this, but most devices do have an off button where you can switch them into a different mode where they don't ring and beep and ping anymore.
So is there are phones allowed during the 7 days, or do you do a digital disconnect as well, or is that?
It's a soft disconnect. I still use my phone to take pictures. Mm-hmm. I have some navigation programs on my phone that I use, but I'm not on the internet. I'm not online. I'm not creating anxiety around what's happening, what's going on out there. I focus in on what's on the boat, and that seems to really work for people. They are willing to be with the boat, be with the trip, with the group, and stay together.
I would imagine, how many people typically in a group on a trip?
We typically have 6 participants.
So it's very small.
It's very small, very intimate, and you get a lot of coach time as a participant. We have 3 coach leaders, typically.
Wow. So you have 3 coaches plus 6 people in the group.
So 9.
9 people. And you have to be together 24/7, which would make almost?
A lot of the time.
So do you stop in places during the trip, or is it on the ocean the whole time?
It's not out on the open water. If we're doing it near Vancouver, it'll be in the Gulf Islands or up Deep Cove or Howe Sound. But there's islands and there's land around. There's interesting things to see. And we'll stop maybe every other night and go ashore, depending on the trip. So there is shore time. You get a chance to stretch your legs. And we'll go on little picnics or little excursions, explore some islands.
And it's such a beautiful part of the world.
It really is.
Like I've taken the busy ferry from Vancouver to Victoria just for the trip.
Yes.
Because it goes through all the islands and it's just so peaceful. Even there's that feel of disconnect, even though there's the land. So,
yeah, I mean, that's something that we take for granted, right? Because it is in our backyard here. But people ask me, would you rather be sailing in the British Virgin Islands or in Spain or here? And the answer is yes. They're all world-class sailing destinations. I love each of them for different reasons.
Yeah, beautiful. So how many trips normally do you do, or what? Throughout the year? I'm guessing they're all throughout the summer, here at least in British Columbia, or are they throughout the year?
They are throughout the year, and they are around the world. Here near Vancouver, we typically sail in July and August. That's the prime time. For the Caribbean, January, February is a little better.
So you don't do it just here, you do it in other parts?
Internationally.
Okay, see, I didn't know this part. I'm glad I asked. So, okay, so we have Western Canada, and then you have?
The Caribbean. The British Virgin Islands is always a favorite.
Beautiful.
In September, we were in Spain. We had 3 boats in Spain in September. And this
3 boats, so each boat 6 people?
Yeah, I think there were 22 people in total for that trip. It was a bit of a different focus than some of our really coaching-centered trips.
Tell us about that.
Well, the Spain trip kind of came together through 3 different skippers, including myself. And what it ended up being is individual coaching was available to people who were on my boat or who were able to get on my boat for the day. And how that's different from our typical program is our typical program is everybody's focused in on coaching. So this was more of a sailing trip with a coaching add-on.
Cool. So do you go based on what some coaches, do you get approached from coaches who want to do the trips, or do you organize it and then find the coaches? How does it work? Is it both ways, or how does it come together? I'm just asking because people are watching this, maybe coaches, and they go, oh, I want to do something. Are you the one who goes out, or they come to you? Or?
I have a few coaches who I have handpicked and said, I specifically want to work with you, and maybe I specifically want to work with that coach on a particular kind of program or at a particular destination. Also, I have coaches who just reach out to me and go, you haven't heard of me, but I've seen all your videos, and I love what you're doing, and can I play? I want to be a part of what's happening. And that always feels great.
In the end, you handpick them, though.
Yes.
You have to.
I get to be choosy about the coaches that I want to work with, and that's a real privilege.
So how long have you been doing this?
Ooh. I mean, I've been taking people out sailing for over a decade. The coaching thing is more recent. We're having so much fun with it, though.
How can it not be? It's like your dream that pays you.
Right.
Right? You get to travel and earn a living doing what you love. That is fantastic. So the coaching part, the actual coaching part, what was the inspiration on that?
I mean, I just want to help people fall in love with their lives again. How many people do you talk to who hate their jobs or hate the government or whatever their thing is that they're so focused on complaining about? And they're not taking their values and forwarding them into action. And the people who are ready to do that, those are the people that I want to engage with and give them the tools and set them free to be more fully who they are.
And that's so true. I mean, even with the program that you mentioned, like What's Next, I think so many come to that point in their life where they go, now what?
Yes.
You know, like whether they're retired or they've been laid off or life-changing experience, right? Like what's next? So important. Wow. So cool.
When we made the What's Next program, what I had in mind, let me back that up. My favorite custom personal coaching clients are the ones who are just buying companies for fun. They've kind of done what they needed to do in life, and they're just playing. They've got a big sandbox, they've got lots of options, and lots of options can be a little bit debilitating if you don't know which one you want to go for now. And so with the What's Next program, I really was, in a lot of ways, targeting those people who could do anything, and we want them to surprise us with something great.
So let's just say, like you mentioned, there are coaches that have approached you because they love your videos, they love what you're doing, and they say, hey, you haven't heard of me. So they want to kind of partner up with you. Do you also offer just, I will provide the boat and the sailing, and then you do your own thing and you can just come on board? Or is it always a partnership as far as what is presented in the trips?
I don't typically just take people sailing just for the sake of sailing.
No, I don't mean just for the sake of sailing, but let's just say if I came to you and said, Terry, I want to do coaching and I want to do it on a sailboat, and it's my own coaching program, it's not in partnership with you. Is that something that you do, or is it you're always involved in the coaching aspect of the trips that you put together?
I think the answer to your question is both. I am always involved in the coaching on the trips. And at the same time, I do have a few people who are talking to me for 2019 to have possible partnerships where they say, we have this program and we have this preset group of people who are ready to sign up for this program. Let's work together and harmonize something where we can be on the boat and bring a few, maybe one of their leaders and two of mine, or two of theirs and one of mine, and really create something special.
That's very cool. So if people want to know about where the trips are happening, when they're happening, how do they find out?
Typically, my website's a great place to start. We have a couple of videos we're very proud of. And the website is terrythesailboatcoach.com.
terrythesailboatcoach.com. The link is below in the notes, so you'll just click on that and you'll find the information. And anything else you want to share?
I mean, typically people that are reaching out to us already know what coaching is. They probably have a sense of adventure and the sense that there's possibility that life could be great, maybe greater than it is now, or greater in a different way that we haven't thought of yet. Yeah. I just love meeting new people and seeing them go through their change story to something that maybe they didn't see coming.
Transformation.
Transformation.
And possibilities.
Definitely possibilities.
And what a better way to do it in the ocean on a sailboat. Because you probably don't use the engine very much.
We don't use the engine very much.
Yeah.
I like to do most of the sailing with the sails. Occasionally you have to make an appointment or make a passage before the tide turns on you. But as much as possible, we get where we're going under sail.
And you've been sailing for a long time, so you're a safe person to be with.
Yes.
You didn't just decide, I'm just going to be the sailor and bring the boat out there, so you're in safe hands.
Yeah, I've got a few miles on.
That's fantastic. Well, there you have it. Anything else?
I think that's it. I think we crushed it.
That's it. We crushed it. All right. So I think it's fantastic what you're doing. I think it's brilliant. I had never heard of coaching on a sailboat, but why not? Right? And I don't know. Now I'm thinking about it.
I think you should join us in July.
You never know. Oh, this July is not going to be possible. However, you never know. Like in the future. So
that would be very cool.
Yeah. The West Coast especially, because it's so beautiful.
It really is lovely here.
Or the Virgin Islands. They're both nice.
They're both good.
They're both good.
Can we bring the piano man?
Oh, well, we can ask him. Maybe we'll bring the piano man. We'll ask him later. Well, check out the website and find out when the next trip is. So you can, if you have any questions, reach out to Terry. And I'm sure you'll be happy to answer all your questions.
I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you, Francesca. This has been lovely talking.
Thank you, Terry.